Hello everyone. I wanted to make a video today that is a little bit more on the personal side, and it's also about a whole new project that I have that is not directly related to singing. As some of you may know, I'm a trained opera singer. I sang in opera, then I started just freelancing and singing with bands. Yes, I have done it all. I've always known how to sing classically and non-classically. I'm a strong believer that you can do both. And the truth is, probably most creative people, and musicians are creatives, are people of many interests. And that is absolutely true when it comes to me. I do have many interests. Yes, I do have squirrel syndrome sometimes. It's really hard to stay focused, but I have learned to kind of channel everything, all the ideas that I'm like here and there and everywhere, into something that is actually useful and to where I'm putting something out that is helpful to people. However, something that was really part of my life for the past several years has been growing and kind of it's just been developing inside of me. So let me rewind. If you are on my email list, you have heard some of this story already, and I sent an email out a few days ago. But when I started YouTube, there was actually the cause for this was really that I found myself in this situation of being a single mom. I had a little baby to take care of, and I was basically taking care of her by myself. Didn't really have any childcare in the beginning because she was little, she was nursing, and it was just me. So being a performing artist was really hard to just go everywhere. So I had to cancel a lot of those things. And then also, I had a lot of students. I taught about 20 students every single week here in my studio. And I was also actually at a music school in my area here. And I had to drastically reduce this. And I remember in the very first, the first few weeks and even months, my daughter would be wrapped around in the baby wrap and I would give my lessons. And I felt like so guilty because I felt like I have to sing loud and the students are loud. I wanted her to sleep and have peace and rest. But the truth is I had to make some kind of money. And that's kind of where the idea was born to start YouTube, because a lot of my students asked me, don't you have some material? Even if I cannot come to your studio and take lessons anymore, I would love to still learn from you. Don't you have like a CD or a DVD? And I thought, that is not really practical. Why don't we just put it on the internet? And then I decided, oh, that would actually be interesting maybe to some other people out there. Let me start making tutorials. And I decided to make them in English, not in German, because I am in Germany here. But I thought, most of my students who were actually university students, they knew English. Most everyone knows pretty good English here in Germany. And so I decided, let's do it in English because it gives me a broader audience, like more people can take advantage of this. I think at some point after the first few, I dedicated myself to making one video every week. So every Friday, I published a video, and the first ones are cringy. You can go to my channel and scroll back all the way to the very oldest ones. The first videos are just performance videos because I had that channel years before I even started making tutorials, just to put some performance videos on that I wanted to share with someone. And I committed to just every Friday. And it took a long time. Back then, it's like today, that is really slow growth. But back then, it was actually pretty good. And I remember it took me 1 year to reach 1,000 subscribers. And it was a big deal to me. It was like, wow, 1,000 subscribers. And I had a giveaway. I did a giveaway, and I remember going on a Zoom call with the girl who won, and it was such an exciting thing for me. And I even remember meeting someone when I only had maybe a few thousand. It was the single digits. I had just maybe between 1,000 and 5,000 followers. I remember going to the International Music Messe, music fair, the exhibition, and someone actually recognized me. He's like, oh yeah, I know you. Aren't you Freya? I watch your channel. And I felt like such a celebrity. And then it took me 1 more year to grow to 10,000 subscribers and another year to go to 30,000. And so it grew faster and faster. But at some point, I realized that, AdSense actually isn't paying a lot of money. And it really does depend on your niche here on YouTube. It's very much about the niche. If you're like in money, finance, and stuff like that, you can make a lot of money. And if you're in this niche right here doing singing tutorials, not a lot. It's not a lot, let me tell you. You could never make a living from that. So I thought like, you have to do something. I started listening to a lot of podcasts and audiobooks, and I learned that there's such a thing as like a mastermind group. I joined my very first mastermind group, and that's when I started realizing, oh, I can do like a course. That's a good idea. That's when I started to do everything online, and eventually I made that leap of not teaching in my studio anymore, but only doing online teaching. Like my courses and my masterclass and all the stuff. I enjoy this so much. I've always been a techie, so I love doing stuff on the computer and on the internet and like website and creating all these graphics and just doing something really cool that people can use. So, but anyway, I added 2 more kids to my family. I had twins about 2 years ago, still a single mom. And for years, this idea was inside of me to like, where are the single moms who also want to have a better life, who are entrepreneurial, who understand that they don't have to be the victim of any circumstances, but it's only in their own control. Basically, that's what I had decided. It's like, I'm not going to rely on anyone. I'm taking full responsibility over everything, my own life, and being responsible for everything that concerns my children. And I, back then, was looking for my tribe. It's like, where are the other single moms that I can identify? Like all these mastermind groups and all these programs that I was in, it was amazing. But there were very few ladies who actually were my tribe. You know, like they all had a husband, so they had another income, you know, while they were building their business. I didn't have that. I was always responsible. And also I didn't have a husband who could be like, can you like watch the kids and I can go to this conference for a couple of days? I just didn't have that. Yes, I had people who could take care of my older daughter sometimes, but right now, again, I'm back at kind of square zero because they're still young. The twins are only 2. And possibly I'm going to add another child. A whole other story how that's all happening, but it is possible. But I created something for this tribe that I was looking for years ago. The single mom who has a business, who wants to start a business, who is entrepreneurial and just wants to live a better life. The truth is, money is a vehicle for a lot of things. It's really not about, a lot of us don't want money per se. We want the things that money makes possible. Money opens a lot of doors. So I want to help more single moms take their business to 6 figures and beyond. I still have big goals, but it's all about helping more people out there. And I feel like there's a lot we have to offer. And I know there's a lot we have to offer. And it's time for us to stand together, to brainstorm, because it's a whole different creature being a single mom and running a business, being dependent on childcare. And when your kids get sick, there's not a second person who can take care and cuddle, and because you're the number one person in their life. And to check out my new project, I have created a community. This is brand new. It's a new podcast. You can find all the information. It's called The Single Mom CEO. Go to the website, The Single Mom CEO, and I'll put the link below in the description. You can find all the information about the new podcast. If you are a single mom who identifies with everything I just told you, please do subscribe to the podcast. And also, I have a free guide that is on my website there where you can, it's 6 strategies to grow a 6-figure business while raising kids. Even if you're not a single mom, this is very useful. And it's all how do you get things done? How do you get the stuff done when your kids don't sleep through the night? I remember, even now, they sleep through the night normally, but usually one of them gets kind of a little restless once a night and crawls, on top of me. They both still sleep in my bed, and I have still big goals. One of them is that I want to move back to the United States, back because I used to live there. I went to college there. I was in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and that's where I want to go back to. So if you do live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I would love to hear from you and connect with you. And then maybe when I'm there, we can have a little meetup or something. Dallas-Fort Worth is my second home, and I'm going to go back there in the next 2 years. And I'm going there with a investor visa. It sounds really big, but really All I'm doing is I'm bringing my business to the US. There is a visa that allows you just to run your business there. And as long as you can prove that your business is creating jobs, and I do have a team. I already have someone in the US actually on my team creating jobs, and your business is thriving, you're making money and contributing to the economy, you can get that visa. And it allows me basically to stay in the US indefinitely as long as my business is thriving. So that's one of my big goals in the next few years. And again, that's all going to require money, but I know that all those single moms out there, they want to have that life that requires money. So hop over there if you identify with everything I said. Now, if you just want to follow because you're interested, you can do that too. It's good. It's all good. But again, it's really intended to be for the single mom entrepreneur who just wants to make that an amazing life and not neglect her children while still being there, being present, spending time with the children. Because the truth is, when they're little, the relationship we build when they're little is going to be the same relationship that we're going to have with them for the entire life. So it's important to invest in that relationship and to not neglect and just be wrapped up in work all the time. You want to pay attention to your children and their needs and their feelings and their thoughts and all the things that they go through. It requires you to be aware of a lot of things. And that's what it's all about. Thank you so much for watching today. This was very personal. It was not directly about singing, but it is about singing because I do everything that I do here on this channel because of all the things I'm going to talk about on my podcast there, The Single Mom CEO. And by the way, I also have everything that is here on YouTube singing related. It's also on a podcast. Master Your Voice or Freya. Just look Freya Singing Tips. It's my podcast. If you have not subscribed and you would like to listen on the go, that is also another place where you can listen to me. Thanks for watching today. Have an amazing day. And wherever I'm going to see you, I just hope you're going to always keep a song in your heart because it's really important to keep that music going inside. Be blessed. Talk soon.